Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and as you can see today we're going to be trying to make a paper bag journal. As you know, I've been trying to do some work in my box of bits and pieces that I've been collecting to make things with, some bits of masterboard, there's bits of packaging, there's book pages, there's all sorts of stuff, and I just put them in there and with the idea that one day I'm going to use them to make things. And we've done a couple of videos taking stuff out of that box and making ephemera with it. But at the back of the box there was this massive stash of paper bags that I've been collecting for quite a while because I keep seeing people using them, but I've never used them myself. I've never done anything with any of these paper bags, but I would just keep collecting them. Quite a lot of them. So I'll take these away. These are all pharmacy bags, because in case you hadn't guessed, I get quite a lot of medication every month from the pharmacy, and this is what they all come in. And sometimes I get a small bag like this, sometimes great big bags like this. So I thought, well, I might not use all of these, but I hadn't realised until I got them all out just how many varieties of bags I actually have collected and sizes. So I thought, well, maybe now will be a good time to try something different, do something new, really out of my comfort zone. I don't know how this will go. I really have no real plan. I just want to put a few bags together and try and make some sort of journal. This may be a video that's done in several parts because I may have to stop and go away and have a think about what I'm going to do next. But I thought that's to start with, I'll just pick out some bags, different sizes, different lengths, different widths, and see what we can make with it. So I definitely want to at least have one of these big ones. This is actually, I think originally was one of the smaller ones, because as you can see, they're all gusseted, these bags, like that. So what I did with this one, just to see how it would, what it would end up like, is I actually opened it all out. I opened out this base and opened the whole thing out and flattened it just to see how big it would be, and maybe that would be a good way to start with some of these, because then you've got something easier to work with. You can just fold it in half and it's ready to go. So that's the first one. I am going to be, of course, covering all of these. I don't know if I'm going to use any paints. I might do. I'm not sure because they're quite thin, some of the papers, so I'm more likely to cover with paper. Do some collaging, use some digitals probably. Don't know yet. But yeah, so I thought I'll just try one of these, and I'm just wondering, I'll take one of these big ones. Let's put these to one side and just deal with them one at a time, I think. So I'll put that one side. So these bigger ones, the paper's actually quite a bit thicker. I think I'll try opening this one out just to see how big it comes out at. And then one of the others I might make use of the base as a pocket or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I want to start off just by trying to open it out. Phew, that was a bit of work, but look at the size of that now. That is a big one. I'll measure it just to see how big it actually is, to see whether that's the sort of size journal we want to go with, because wow, that's 10 and, well, hang on, 10, just a smidge over 10 and a half, nearly 10 and 3/4 in height. Yeah, so whether I'm going to use that, I might do as one of the layers, maybe as the cover, I'm not sure yet. It's quite a big one. Let's see. Let's fold it in half. And that would be the size of the journal, I guess. But that's okay. I think we maybe, I don't know how big some of the others are. So let's have a look at some of the other bags. I can do the same with another one of these smaller ones, but I'll do that off camera. Or I'll do that, and you don't need to watch me do that. I'm going to try and use 2 or 3 of these, I think. So let's put those aside. Let's see what else we've got. Because I don't really know what sizes I've got here. So I've got a couple of small ones, so I'll try and use that. I've got one. And that one. Let's have a look at this one. Another good size one, isn't it? Wow, that's a big one. Okay. It's not as tall. There's the pharmacy one. I'll get it folded in the middle if I can. Or more or less. They don't all have to be folded in the middle. If they're a bit on the long side. I've got another couple of big ones here. So I don't need both of those, I don't think. So how about folding this one like that? And how big is this one? Is that smaller than the other one? Let's have a look. It's a different colour. I think it's actually a little bit smaller than that one. Yeah, a little bit smaller. Let's go with that one. I may not use all of these. I doubt if I will. I just want to try and gauge what sort of variety of papers we've got. And that one wants to fold about there, I think. So I may trim off the end. I don't know yet. This is all very make it up as you go along type of thing. What else have I got? I've got another one of little brown one. Very crinkly. Part of the fun of using these bags is how crinkly and scrunchily and noisy they are, isn't it? I've not done anything like this before, but I've watched other people doing them, although everybody you watch does it differently, so in the end you just have to do your own thing, don't you? Let's see. I think that's going to have to fold that way because that's how it wants to fold. Right. Let us put some of these together. That. And that. No. Like that. go in there. This needs a little bit of tidying up, I think, this one. Might need a bit of remedial work, it's got quite torn. One of my pharmacy bags. And I want to use more than one of these, so I need to open another one up and see where I can get it in. So I'll just do that on the outside. So I just need to open this one up. Okay, we've got that one. And I'm just wondering whether we need to just trim this off a bit because it's got a bit torn. And you don't necessarily want too many the same size. So I might just have a go at tearing it. Oh, I made it worse. Okay. That wasn't the plan at all. Should have known better, shouldn't I? There we go. A little bowl for me bits of rubbish. Okay, so now I've got a little more of a squat one here. Let's see what we can do. That one there. That one there. Let's see. Goes like that. Like that. I'm not sure about this one, it's very torn. If I can take that out for now. I think that's a bit too torn. Maybe I could use this little green one. Just take that label off. A bit lost in there, isn't it? Maybe in there. Like that. I think I might want to take this out. And in there, maybe. Right, so maybe that's, I don't know. Going to work. And then it's a case of deciding how to bind it. I don't know if any of you saw, I made a ephemera holder at Christmas, which was based on a paper bag journal that Rachel at Roxy Creations made, and she saw Rhonda Winstadt making it, and I think Liz at the Paper Project, I think she started it all, where they basically just bound it along the edge here, and so that it folded like that. And then, so it was bound here, and then there was eyelets holding it all together. And I made something like that as an ephemera holder for Christmas, but it ended up really, really fat. And I don't think I want to do it like that with this one. Just wondering if these bags are some of them are a bit too big, I think. That's what I'm thinking. I think I might take this one out. Try and keep it all contained. Within the size of this one. So if I want that to be the size, put this one inside. Inside there. There. And you've got that. And I think if you've covered it all with some pretty papers and lace and stuff, I'm just wondering, let's see how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bags. I think that might be enough. I do. I'm wondering whether to take this out. There. There, and this one, and this one. I think I like that better. Okay. Now the question is, how do I bind it? My instinct is, if I'm going to do a pamphlet stitch, it should probably be a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, just because of the height of it all, just to get everything in so it's not too loose. I've never done one of those before, so I think I need to go and do a little investigating to see how you do that, and then maybe I'll come back and actually do it, and then we'll start decorating it. So yeah, okay, so I'll be back when I've done my little bit of research and got my courage together. This could be a few days, because this is Friday quite late in the afternoon, so it could be next week before I return, but it won't make any difference to you because it'll be like seconds away, because this is by no means the end of the video. So I'll be back when I've done my research and possibly gone through the weekend. And also because this weekend is a bank holiday weekend, and it's going to be my birthday on Monday, so that's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. So when I see you for the rest of this video, it'll be September, sometime in September, because I'm kind of ahead of myself. So by the time you see this, my birthday will be a distant memory. Okay, I'll be back. Hi there, I'm back again after quite a number of days. Just working in our little paper bag journal here. Yeah, it's been about 5 days since I did the last bit of the video. In between, I've had a lovely weekend and I've had a lovely birthday. So I think it's high time I got back and got into this again. I've done a bit of research on how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which I think is still what I want to do with this. A couple of things I did do off camera. I cut all the ends of all the paper bags. I'm now wondering if I'm going to regret that, because I'm wondering if some of them I might want to cut across the top and make a top loading pocket on some of them. So I may end up gluing some of the paper bags back together. I'm not sure yet, but that will be after I've done the sewing. The other thing I did off camera was this big one, this really big pharmacy bag. I did a couple of ththings with this. As you can see, I've sewn a line down the middle because I just thought the pocket was just going to be so big. I just thought whatever I was going to put in it would just be, just floating around. So I thought, well, I'll sew it down the middle. Then I've got 2 narrower pockets, which would be more suitable for a long tag. And the other thing is I folded it up at one side as well to make 2 pockets here. So so I've still got this pocket on this side, but I've now, because I centered it on where I was going to fold it, and then I've got 2 pockets here as well. They're quite big pockets, so I can put some quite decent sized journal cards in there as well. So I thought that make this a more usable bag. But that's all I've done. So I've just got to put the bits and pieces. So I've ended up with this one being the tallest pocket. Now that I've folded this one up, this one is the big pocket now, and it keeps not looking very straight where it's folded. It's folded skewy, and however many times I try to fold it straight, it's not seem to be accepting it. I don't know whether the bag is crooked, or I keep trying to fold it so that it's straight across the top. Right, so that's there. A few little ones, so I may have moved things around a bit, and I have added a couple of extra bags as well, I think. I have a feeling, oh, excuse me. I think when I finished the earlier part of the video, I only had 8, so I've added a couple more. Can't remember which ones now are new, but there's now 10 bags in this little journal, if that's what you want to call it. I think this little one, this was one I found. I thought it was really pretty, so I wanted that on the front. So yeah, so this is roughly how, I think that's how it's going to look. So I've now got to clip it into place so that I can actually do the sewing. This is all a bit scary. I've not seen anybody sewing in a paper bag journal like this. I have seen Barbara make something similar to this with even more paper bags, a lot more paper bags than I'm using. I'm not brave enough to have to use them as many as she did. But her binding was one of these ones where you glue it down and then you just glue it down for half an inch or something and flip it back, which might be the most sensible thing to do, but I've decided I'm going to do it this way, so that's what I'm going to do. And I may regret it, but I'm going to give it a try. So I think the hardest part is going to be actually clipping all these bags together for the sewing. So I start with the front ones. These have got quite a good size paper clips, and I can just pop that in there like that. Then if I open it, I can see if there's any that I've missed. Okay, I think we're clipped. That was a bit of a palaver, but I knew that would be the case because they're all different layers. It was always going to be tricky to get them all clipped in, but I think I've caught all of them. So the next thing to do will be to make my holes. So I'm going to use my book cradle. Make sure everything is pushed into the middle. And let's make some holes with the awl. I mean, this shouldn't be too thick to go through because it's not too many layers really. So I'm just going to do it by eye. Just make sure I go. Would have a good old wiggle. Make sure I can have a quick look. Make sure I am getting all the way through. I felt like I was. Yep, there's the hole. Right, double check. Hole there. And then I want a hole just about an inch up from the bottom, roughly. I'm not going to measure. And same the other side. Just about an inch. It might not be quite the same. I'm trying to. Let's see. I'll do it just at the edge of that purple bag because I know it's not central, the bag. At least that way it catches it in. And then between the two holes, one there, I'm going to put one there. And one about here. Right, I hope they're roughly equal between them. It's not going to matter too much. As long as all the bags are caught somewhere in the sewing. Okay. Right, I'm just going to make sure all the holes are visible from the other side. Right. That one. That one. Yep. These little bags are going to be tricky until I've got a few stitches through. That one's not. I think this bag may have slipped, I'm not sure. Just going to poke through again because it's not going through. Easily. Okay, let's just do this. Let's try sewing this. I'm just using some wax thread in a sort of nice browny coffee colour. Right. As soon as I take it out of the cradle, it's not going through easily. I'm not sure why. Went through beautifully, and it was in the cradle, so I can now see, yes, it's coming through. I just think my hole's not going to be quite big enough. I need to waggle it a bit more because I've got quite a big needle. So it's going to be tricky to get it through. I don't make a hole decent size. There we go. Now it's through. Right, we have begun. I've given myself a lot of thread, probably far too much. I've left a nice long tail. Now I've done a little diagram for myself to show how I've got to do this, and then I've written it out as well. So it goes up through number 1, which is the middle hole. Then it goes down through number 2, which is the next hole down. So this is the next hole. And get it to go through that. I think I might poke it through again with my awl because the hole does not look big enough. And the bag has slipped, of course. Oh. It's coming through in a different place. That's annoying. Don't want it to move. I'll try doing it back through here and back through the rest of the holes. Have to deal with this bag slightly separately. A bit like if you were dealing with the cover separately, I think. Now this seemed to be quite well aligned. Having said that, it's coming through in a different place. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm not sure I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's moved a little bit. I can see this is going to be just as tricky to do as I ever expected it to be. Right, we are back through that hole. I think once we've got a few bags sewn in, hopefully it'll all stay together a bit better. Right. Right, okay. Right. Back through the bottom hole. I'm going to make that hole again. With my awl, make it fatter. Where's the needle gone? There it is. And we're through. Right. Now we have to go back into this hole without catching the thread. Good luck to me doing that. Sorry, I'm having to do it close to my body, otherwise I can't see what I'm doing. Right, I've got through. I'm hoping I haven't caught the thread. So I'm back through this hole here. Okay. Oh, how did I manage that? There we go, I just caught that. I'll have to stick that down again, won't I? Alright. So, we're back through that hole, like that. We're getting there. Then I don't go back through this one, I go to the next one along. I can see where it is. I may have to re-poke that one because it seemed to have shifted. It's not lined up. Let's go back into my little cradle. Right. Can I get it in there? Get the. Let's try again with this. It's coming through there. Just need to push it through a bit more. Make the hole bigger, and I can get the needle in because it's a really fat needle. Okay, it's through. Okay. Phew. Won't work this. But I did want to try doing one of these 5-hole pamphlet stitches, which in theory shouldn't normally be that difficult. I think part of the problem is I've given myself way too much thread to play with because I wasn't sure, I had no idea how much I'd need. And partly is because these bags are so awkward to use, to work with, because they're all at so many different levels. Right. Now I'm just going to re-poke the final hole. I'll try and do it right there. Make sure I go right through the bag and give it a good old wiggle. And get the needle. That's got to come, sorry. It's got to go back through that way. There we go. Oops, sorry about that. I'll move this out the way. Don't think I'm going to need to poke any more holes now, she says. Now, so it's up through the top one. I'd go back through the second one. Second one down. seems so bad coming back up through the hole. Okay, and then finally, alright, let's pull that taut away. Pull that tight. Pull that tight. Pull that tight. Down through the middle hole again, and then we're done. All I've got to do is tie it to make sure it's all tight. I'm going to come up through the... Whoops, oh goodness, something's gone flying. Up through the hole again. Up through the centre. If only I could find the rest of the hole. Here we come. Phew! Here it comes. Now I've got it on both sides of the middle thread. Got it nice and tight. Let's have a look on the other side, see if that's still... That looks reasonably tight. This one. Yep. Okay. Got the ridiculous amount of thread I've used. Well, I know next time I don't need to cut anything like as much as that. I think I did, I don't know, 3.5 times the length or something. And I'll do one more thread for good measure. I don't know which way around. Okay. Right. Everybody was watching was saying that when you're using this you should push the knot down with something. Maybe I think bone folder would be better. Kind of flatten that out. So I'm going to do it, even though I'm not entirely sure why. There we go. Yeah, makes it a bit neater, I suppose. And then I just need to trim these off. Phew! That was one of my paper clips that went flying. I'm going to take these out and see what I've got. See if it actually holds together as a journal. I have no idea if it will. Let's see what we've got. Hang on, I've lost it. Oh, I didn't notice that this didn't last the course. Oh well, I'll have to find a way to add this one as well, won't I? Oh, that's a shame. I like this one too. Actually, I think I'm upside down. Yeah, that was meant to be. I completely lost sight of this one. You probably saw it flying off and I didn't even notice, did I? Not quite sure what I'm going to do. I think I maybe I'll just glue that in. Or maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. Let's see what we've got anyway, apart from that one. Clearly it didn't want to be part of this journal, it didn't want to play. So I've got this little bag, that one, a big one, and then a little one. The idea was I was trying to use some pharmacy bags, but I've ended up using only about 3, I think, in the end. Flatten this out. Got a bit scrunched up in the process, and then another little one in the middle. Yeah, but this one I didn't actually open it all out. Like, it's probably the same size as this one, but I just kept it folded in, so it's got more of a more of a gusseted bag. And it's obviously going to need some remedial work, but the plan is I'm going to use one of the new kits that I bought from Shabby Dabby Doodah to decorate this, plus a few extra bits from other kits. So this is a really pretty kit. It's called Pink Parisian, and I've got it all printed. I need to get rid of all the... I've got to reprint that because I've used some of that to make a pocket or something, I'm not sure. So this is the kit I'm going to use to cover all this with. So hopefully by the time it's finished, it's going to look really pretty. So there's this lovely roses paper. And it's a vintagey pink kit, and I thought I haven't used a lot of pink over the time I've been making junk journals. Pink has not been a colour I've really embraced very much, so I thought it was time. So it's quite vintagey looking. She loves all her vintage flowers and a mixture of the coffee dyed colours and other pretty colours. She loves her colours, as do I. So that's a really lovely page. So I thought this would be lovely. It's just a nice mixture of... Oh, I seem to have printed that one twice. That's okay. And this one, isn't that pretty? Lovely ladies. So yeah, I think this is going to be lovely. Oh, I've done that twice as well. Well, I never... Well, it's handy to have more than that. It's handy to have several sheets. I just hadn't realised I'd printed things twice. And that one. And that one. I think this one's been printed twice as well. And this one, and this one. So, yeah, roses, ladies boots and things like that. So I think that's going to be a really, really pretty kit to use. And a nice, soft pinks through to quite warm colours and warm pinks and browns as well. So it'd be a nice combination of colours. And then I've picked out of other kits, I think mostly from Roxy Creations, I think. A few other papers that I thought might go. This one I'm not so sure about. I picked it out mainly because of this pinky bit, this here. I might use this bit, but I don't think this will work. I've got a piece of this which is from her sampler kit, which again has got those same colours in it, and it was rather nice, and I thought that might go on something. I've got this, which is similar sort of tones, and this warm background paper, that's again a nice warm pink. I've got this scrap of paper, again warm pinks, and I've got a couple of I pulled out a couple of my ephemera style kits from Pink Monarch Prints and Paper Outpost, and might use some of these, things like these vintage letters and things, just here and there, because you don't want unremitting pink. I want to mix it up a bit and and I'll probably get some book pages in there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to decorating this. I think it's going to be quite a fun little project. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. Maybe I'll add it somewhere else. I don't know yet. Or maybe I'll just save it for another day. Because if this goes well and I'm happy with it, I may well make another one. I've got loads of bags still. And it's like when I was watching Barbara making hers. And she started off, as I said, with a lot more bags, but it's a similar sort of idea. And it's that lovely scrunchy sound, isn't it? When you're holding it, and it just feels lovely. It sounds lovely. So I'll just start a little bit of decorating today. I've not got a lot of time left in this video, and I have got a little sneak peek to show you of the folio I'm making for Hannah and George's wedding. I'm going to show you that at the end. So I'm just looking to see if there's something that would just go into... I'm half inclined to do this bit of... just put some book page just along the spine here. I don't want any of the blue to show through, that's the thing, because it's not going to really go with any of these colours, so I want to try and make sure I cover that up. So I think I might start with a bit of book page. Right, just when I've got one of my little yellow reclam books that I used to use when I was at uni, and because I like the smaller font and the small pages, because I thought that might go nicely on here. So I'm just going to tear that out, and it's lovely and coloured all around the edges. So okay, I'm just going to stick that on. This is a completely I'm not very good at winging it and making it up as I go along, but this is what this is going to be, just because not only have I never done anything like this, I don't think I've ever seen anybody apart from Barbara who did something similar but with a different binding, as I've mentioned. I haven't actually seen anybody doing a journal like this. There may be a good reason for that, of course. It's a completely daft idea. And also by putting this on here, I'm to a certain extent protecting the binding as well, aren't I? So there is that too. I'm covering up the stitching, so it's all helping to keep it in place. Okay. What's next? So I need something, a nice little pretty image to go on the front. So I thought I was looking at this piece here. She's rather lovely, isn't she? I wonder if she's a bit too big to go on there. It's quite a small bag. I wanted to put on all of this, but I don't think that's going to quite work. I wonder if I've got anything else that would be needs to be just something quite small, really, doesn't it? There is no actual ephemera to go with this kit, which is a bit of a shame in a way. I'm sure we'll find some things to decorate it with, though. There's this. Or her. Let me get rid of those white edges because they're throwing me off. Okay. No, I don't think I like that so much. What about that? I feel like I want a proper image. Maybe her. She's very pretty. Okay, she's a possibility. Have a quick look through some of the other pages. Oh, I think I had got that one. That's from that one. It's the same one, so at least I haven't got to reprint that. She's rather nice, but she might be too big for the front. Or I could just do the boot. I like her. Okay, let me just get rid of these white edges as well. Alright, so I've just cut this piece of paper down from that larger one, which it came as part of that. And I've inked around it, and that's the one I want to stick on my front, on the front of the book, because I just think the way she's just looking out at us, I just feel like she's inviting us in to explore the treasures that lie within. Could be my imagination. Well, it is my imagination, obviously. But I just thought that would be rather nice to put on the front there. So I'm just going to glue her on, but I am going to put a piece of paper underneath so it doesn't glue itself, because there might be some bits sticking over the edge. So I'm just going to pop this behind the bag so it doesn't stick to the rest of the book. Covers all the blue. We don't want any blue showing, do we? There's just a few little bits poking out there, but that's okay because we'll cover it the other side as well. Just a little bit wrinkly. Okay, and I'll leave that to dry. I'll probably come back and put something on the front here. I may put some lace down the edge and maybe a label or something like that, or even maybe some flowers down here, but I want this to dry first. So let's see what we can put on the next sheet, or the next bag, which is this one. I was wondering about this one here. So if I just fold it, you can see how it will look. Fold it at about there, I think. So that will fit roughly like that. Yeah, I think that would look rather nice. Okay, so I will cut this to size and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this this piece of paper now cut to size, and I think that will look really nice behind there. I'll do the backs probably off screen, because otherwise we'll be here forever if we're doing every single little piece of decoration. But I will do most of the, certainly the front on screen, probably finish it in the next video. But I'll get this one on, and then we'll have a little look at the wedding folio that I've been making. I've done another section, so I thought I'd show you before I move on to the last one, or the last two. Let's just pull it out a little bit away from the spine. So just the odd little bit poking out. I don't want it to look white. So I think I might need a little dry wipe. I've just put this scrap of paper, or piece of paper that I'm not using, behind it, so I don't get any glue on the book and the rest of the paper bag behind. I'm enjoying the scrunchy sound. I know what Barbara means now. She was talking about how lovely it sounds, and it does. You just have that lovely, just a lovely scrunch as you're working on this book. Right, so that will go like that. There will probably be some sort of floral embellishment, I would think, along across the front here, and I almost definitely will have some lace at the edge of here. And then there's a little space for a small thing in the back of this little bag. So I will decorate this off camera, but then we've got to make things to go in it, haven't we? So that will take a little bit of time as well. So the backs of the bags I will probably do off screen, just to keep things moving along. Okay, so I think that's as far as I'm going to get today. I think the binding took half the video, didn't it? But I thought you might want to see how it was actually done, warts and all. And we did get there in the end. Make sure everything's in, actually. Everything's caught in. There it is. So yeah, our little paper bag journal has begun. And let's see how it ends up. So that's that, and I just thought I'd bring in my little folio. It's filling up, as you can see now. So here it is. There's your little sneak peek. There's still quite a bit of work to be done in it. I'm just doing it bit by bit in my own time. And I haven't got anything else I need to be doing. So there's this, I don't know if you saw this little pocket with save the date on it, because I put the card that they sent out to us all with the save the date is in there. I thought that'd be a nice little pocket right at the front. So I can't remember if I showed you that before. And that folds out. There is another pocket here. And this is what, so this was what they call panel 1. This is now panel 2. And if any of you followed my video on making the folio, you'll know what I'm talking about, because we talked about the different panels at the time. So this is now, this flips up. This is held closed with magnet. I think on the previous one I used Velcro, but I put a little magnet on it this time. That opens up, and there's a pocket here. I'll move that up and it flips down, and then there's another little pocket here. I can show you, it just goes under there like that. There we go. And then we've got this flip out, and there's an envelope, so that flips out as well, and that has got something to put in here. And that opens, and then again another envelope that will flip out that way. Oh, it matches, look at that. Use the same image, and that flips open that way. So they're mirror images here, where I flipped the digital and printed it the other way round, just so that it all coordinated nicely. There's a lot of brides on this, as my husband pointed out when he had a look at it, and he said, I think there's somebody missing from this folio. But the other panel, panel 3, will not have this. This is just using all of the kit from Liana Scrap. She's called it Wedding Bliss, and it's very much got all these bridal images on it. So I've used that for this panel, but I'll be using the Stamperia ceremony kit for the next panel, so that would be less bridally dominant, shall we say. So this is another envelope here, and I've just stenciled it on it there, and I've lined it so we can pop in. So there's all places to put photographs. This is the whole idea, that they're going to put photographs in all of these. And then this is that flip out there, so that flips out that way, and then there's a side pocket here to put something in. Same thing here, that flips out, so that's exactly the same. I have done them the same, I've just flipped them each time. So if you, and again another pocket here, so if you look, they are the mirror image of each other. And the same on the inside, that's the mirror image of that one. You just have to ignore the writing, because obviously when it's been flipped, the writing is a bit weird, it's back to front. And then this is the middle panel, which, so let's fold that out. I'm thinking I might put something like menu, because then they could put their menu card in the middle here perhaps. But maybe I'll leave it up to them to decide how they want that to be, and that might not be what they want to put there. They might want to put a nice big picture of the two of them in the middle. So we'll wait and see. I won't put any suggestions in of that sort. I might offer to put it together for them if they want me to, but they might want to do it themselves. I really don't know. So there we are. So that goes up and that comes down. So there we are. Oh, and there's a little tuck spot here. I just thought that would be quite nice, because it was a little bit on the plain side. So that's as far as I've got. It's all being inked with a mixture of vintage photo and dried marigold, I think, to get the warm peachy theme into it, because it's an autumn wedding. They're using warm peachy colours for the wedding, and warm oranges and things like that. So I'm trying to instill that colour, because there are a few, particularly in this kit, there are a few hints of pink here and there, which I haven't been able to avoid. I've avoided as much as I possibly could, but I've not been able to completely avoid the pink. But where I can, I've been either covering it up with lace or perhaps trying to ink over it to lessen the impact of the pink. There are only faint touches of pink here and there, which I know they don't want. So there we are. That's the the folio so far. I think my next job will be to cover the spines on the inside. I don't know whether I was supposed to have done that already, but I thought I would do that before I make it more difficult to get at. And then I'll do panel 3 and probably panel 4, which is just going to be backing this side. So I think when I come back, it'll be for a final flip through, just so that you can see the whole thing finished. I will be doing a bit more decoration on it, so whether I show you the whole thing finished or whether it will be another partial, another section that's been finished, I'm not sure, but I'll show you another. I'll show you another video, at least one more, before I pack it up. Okay, thank you very much for watching today, and I do hope you join me again soon. Bye for now.